Thank you, Valerie, for that warming speech. It hits to the heart and soul of everyone here today, I think. We are in danger. There's no doubt, and we need to stand together. Our next featured speaker is August Gwen. May I? Here you go. If I don't pronounce your last name, I apologize.
Hi, my name is August. I've been working with Prism, the Providence Youth Student Movement, for the last 4 years. I've also gone to a few TGI network meetings. Prism is an organizing space dedicated to the liberation of Southeast Asians in Providence. We are also home to Queer and Trans Thursdays, which is a space for LGBTQ youth of color to organize together to address the intersection of oppressions. They organized the Trans March of Resilience earlier today because we don't want to just remember, we also want to know that remember that we are resilient, right? And Prism is turning 15 years old today, this year. For the last 2 years, we, along with other member organizations in a coalition called Step Up, have been working on passing a community-built bill called the Community Safety Act, which is designed to curb the abusive ways that police interact with members of our community, especially young people, immigrants, and people of color. And also, don't believe the mayor if he tells you he supports the CSA, by the way. Hello, Lorza. He actually introduced a bill that he also called the Community Safety Act, but which actually has no input from the community at all. So support the community-backed bill, and that goes for you too, there, Lorza. But anyway, so I've been thinking for a long time, but also more intensely after Trump's election, about what community and justice really means. How do we find community, and what kinds of community do we need to form to really keep us safe? So while passing the Community Safety Act is necessary, and while making Providence a sanctuary city is necessary, these are just bills that still play into the system, right? And with Trump's election, like we're really reminded that the system is not here for us, and we have to be building alternatives to it through our own communities. So for a lot of folks here, I think TGI Network has been that community. For me and a lot of other queer and trans people of color, Prism and QT have been that community. And for queer and trans youth, shout out to YPI. YPI has also been that community. But then also, right, for a lot of us, there's also no sense of community. You know, like, so on a day like Trans Day of Remembrance, I think we have to remind ourselves that although trans people in general face a tremendous amount of discrimination, it's primarily trans women of color who are being killed, and primarily Black trans women. And many of these women are also sex workers because they have been excluded from other forms of work due to trans misogyny and anti-Blackness. So I think if we're going to talk about community, we have to talk about what are we doing to fight for trans people of color, particularly trans women. How are we providing concrete and material support, keeping them physically safe, helping them get jobs and housing. So one of the concrete ways is by supporting the Community Safety Act, which does have the support of both QT and TGI Network. Another is by supporting grassroots efforts to combat homelessness among LGBTQ youth, something that QT has been working on. And outside of campaigns, if you're able to open your home, there is an active PVD for your housing group with people there posting all the time about how they need housing. Like, open your house. And you know, I'm sure there's other work that's going on as well that I don't know about, but I really do think that this work needs to center trans women of color. And like I myself, I don't know that I have like a lot of solutions, but I really do believe that it's far past time that we acknowledge who exactly it is we are mourning when we gather to remember our dead and start fighting like hell for them while they are still living. Thank you.